Okay, so maybe just you guys buy the company quietly?
Oh, absolutely not! We go to market, baby! Why are you yelling so loud?
Because competition makes deals beautiful. Woo!
Now it's going to be up to you to push on them on all the other things you want, right? So let's just say you narrow it down to those 5 groups now. Hey, everybody kind of looks and feels like what you're looking for. Now guess what you get to do? Now you get to go to dinner with these guys, right? You get to go spend a weekend with them. You get to go pick them. They don't get to pick you, right? You go to those 2 other groups, those 2 groups that I was saying before, right? They get to pick you. You don't get to pick them. And you want this to be on your terms, for you, your family, for your employees. You want this to be on your terms, not their terms. Okay? So, I recommend, everybody's like, 1 to 3% is a lot I promise you that at the end of the day, whenever you go to one of these other groups, you're going to wish you had somebody to help you out with the data lake, to help you out with due diligence, to help you out, point you in the right direction. You're going to get far more value out of the 1 to 3% than just going to one of these guys. I will tell you that I know probably 20 different groups over the past, say, 5 to 7 years. That's closer to 30 groups at this point. That have sold. Some peers of mine, people that, I've called friends for many of years, and I'd say a third of them are happy. Okay. They're happy that they did the deal. And then 2/3 of them are not happy with the deal that they did. Well, guess what? 90% of those people, right, went straight to 2, maybe 3 groups that are out there versus actually going to market. Okay. It's not hard. Everybody think now, guys, if you're a $500,000 EBITDA shop, right, that's not going to work. You're probably going to need to be, there's going to be some bankers out there that will, or some, M&A groups, that'll do it for, that's, I'd say 2 million in EBITDA. And there are some groups out there, that I'm not going to name any names, but that won't touch you unless you're 10 million in EBITDA, right? So if you are interested, I'm more than happy to point you in the direction of some groups that I would recommend. I'll probably give you a couple names that are out there depending on kind of the size you are, and do an intro. But guys, the experience is amazing. I've now had 3 different of my peers go through this experience, right? And I've not heard, one thing bad about it. Now, obviously, they've got a job to do. Obviously, they're trying to get the deal done as well. And I will say this about the bankers, they're salespeople also, right? So you got to think about it this way. Obviously, you hired them. They're in your corner. But one thing to pay attention to with a lot of these bankers is they want to get the deal done. Because if they don't get the deal done, guess what happens? They don't get paid. So you want to make sure that I'd say 90% of the time they've got your best interest in mind. The other 10% of the time they're trying to get the deal done to get it to the finish line, whatever way it is, so they get their 1 to 3%. So always keep that in the back of your head. When you are dealing with the banker, good guys. Good gals. Good team for the most part if you're working with the right crew and they're not just being money hungry assholes. And some of them are. I've talked to a lot of groups. Obviously, we're a big company. I get a lot of bankers, M&A groups. PE, you name it. I have groups with PE, VC, M&A, bankers. I have conversations with a ton of different people. And obviously, we're not looking to sell or partner with anybody today, but I have those conversations to broaden my knowledge, just kind of the industry, and also tell them, hey, listen, in the event that we are, just keep in touch with me, and then I'll reach out to you at that point.